Every relationship hides a story, and every story carries pain. Welcome to Cheating Stories Insights, where truth bleeds through words. The first shirt slid over his shoulders like it had always belonged to him. My shirt, my scent, my life. His smirk cut deeper than any blade. "We're staying indefinitely," he announced, voice loud enough to make the walls wince. His brother chuckled from across the room, already rummaging through my drawers as if they'd always been his. And her silence was the loudest sound in that room. She stood near the doorway, arms crossed, lips pressed tight, eyes avoiding mine. Betrayal doesn't need words, it thrives in silence. The smell of my cologne on someone else's skin. The sound of my drawer being rifled through like it was common property. The way she didn't speak, didn't stop them, didn't protect me. I trembled, not with fear, with rage. That first night I didn't sleep. Their laughter echoed from my living room. Beer cans clinked, music thudded, my floorboards strained under their careless weight. She moved between them easily, like this arrangement had already been agreed upon. Her eyes glanced toward me only once, fleeting, cold. I waited for her to whisper an apology, to say it was temporary, to say anything. But the silence held. On the second night, one of them used my razor. I found it wet, hair still clinging to the blade. The intimacy of theft. The kind that makes you feel erased. On the third night, I came home to find my books scattered, pages bent. One sat on the armrest of the couch with a greasy fingerprint across the cover. He looked at me, grinned, and said, "Good read." And she laughed. Her laughter cut through me sharper than their mockery. By the fourth day, I stopped asking questions, stopped demanding explanations. I became a ghost in my own house, moving silently, watching, memorizing. Rage cools when you hold it long enough. It doesn't disappear, it sharpens. By the fifth day, I knew what had to be done. Disappearing was easier than I thought. No note, no fight. Just a bag packed in silence while they sprawled across my couch, drunk and laughing at a game show. She didn't look up when I walked out the door. The air outside was colder, sharper. It cut through the suffocation of the house. I walked until the noise of them was gone, until the weight lifted from my chest, until the silence became mine again. They thought I was defeated, that I'd surrendered, that I was gone for good. But I don't disappear, I calculate. 2 days passed before the package arrived at the doorstep. Neighbors said later they saw her hesitate before picking it up. Small, unmarked, ordinary. She opened it at the table while her brothers sprawled around, half dressed in my clothes, careless in their victory. Inside was a single envelope. No words, no threats, just photographs. I'd spent my 5 days well, collecting, observing, documenting. Every moment of their invasion, every proof of their trespass. The smirk in my shirt, the hand inside my drawers, the beer spilled across my floor, her laughter at my expense. Each photo was precise, cold, unforgiving. And beneath them, a single document. Notice of eviction. Not for me, for them. Filed legally, signed quietly. She'd never seen me sign the papers, never noticed my absence in court, never realized the house had never truly been hers. Her name wasn't on the deed, it never had been. The landlord stood behind her within the hour, papers in hand, law on his side. Neighbors said her face went pale, then red, then hollow. The brothers raged, she cried. But the law doesn't bend for noise. They were given 3 days to vacate. Everything they thought they'd claimed, gone in one envelope. I wasn't there to see it. I didn't need to be. Revenge doesn't require presence. It requires precision. I was elsewhere, watching the horizon shift, breathing air that wasn't poisoned by their stench. I imagined the moment she realized that all her silence had bought her nothing, that her brother's arrogance had destroyed her comfort, that her laughter had echoed into emptiness. The neighbors still talk about it, how quickly the mighty fell, how the brothers vanished, leaving behind only broken bottles and stained furniture, how she sat alone on the front steps after the last box was carried away, staring at the street like it owed her something. Nobody knew where I went, nobody saw me return, and yet the story lingers. I don't miss her, I don't miss the house. What I miss is the silence that belonged to me before their noise. Now I have it again, clean, sharp, untouched. People expect anger to explode, to shatter glass and leave blood on the floor. But real revenge is colder, quieter, more precise. It leaves nothing broken, except the people who thought they'd won. She'll remember the silence I left behind. She'll remember the envelope on the table. She'll remember the neighbors watching as her world collapsed. And I'll remember nothing of her. Because she doesn't exist anymore. Not in my house, not in my silence, not in me.